Hello everybody and welcome back to the third round, yes, the third round of Trinity Competitive Racing Season number 3. It's HRL Cavi, or Alan Cavignaro, and we are back for the Russian Grand Prix. This is the third and final race that I'm commentating today. Hopefully next week it's going to be a little bit shorter than that. Mostly I want to do 2 races in a day, at most I'm doing 2 races in a day. That's what I really want to do. I don't want to do 3 races, but today has been a marathon. I have had no time to do anything. Here's James. He's watching my final race that I have to... This is the third race I have to commentate today. Though, I'm going to show everyone that I can do 3 races in one day. One day I'm going to do 4. One day in 2018 I'm going to commentate 4. But yes, we are back for Trinity Competitive Racing, Season number 3, Round number 3 of the Russian Grand Prix. Looks like fastest lap will go to Tico. And Motor City will get an even faster lap of 135.1. Taking an onboard view now. Cam fastest lap of 135 flat. And we're taking an onboard view with NR in first place, actually. It says he is, but he's not. He's going to enter the pits. Look behind TCR and the McLaren Honda. Looks like he set the second fastest time. So let me just put the link in the PlayStation chat. James says busy. Yeah, I know you've been busy. That's why you didn't race today. James says, gutted that I missed the race today. Oh, yep, there you go. Well, hopefully next week you can return, because I'm really hoping to have a good attendance next week. Today we had 14. That wasn't bad for a start. I wouldn't say it was a standout race. It was more like a race you'd see on TV. There were a couple passes. And there was a spin, there was a couple spins. That's mainly about it. Not much happened. You didn't really miss much. I mean, Soup and I made the Grand Prix sound very interesting, but really it wasn't much. It wasn't much. If I commentated that by myself, I would have been bored. But I just put the link in the chat and we'll be good. Okay, I put the link in the 2 chats, so we'll be ready and rolling. James says, I'm back next week. Okay, good. A lot of people are going to be back next week, so it's going to be good anyway. So coming across the line, TCR does improve, but he is still not on pole position, however. Seafreeze is in third. I mean, if you look at Seafreeze, he's had 2 runner-up places in a row. He does have the points lead, but he does not have a win yet this season. So coming into the third round of the season, he's hoping to improve on that record here at the Russian Grand Prix. The fastest lap ever recorded for pole position was Alex back in Season 1. Let me pull up the time. I mean, for me it's loading, so I can't really do anything about that. But also, if you guys did miss the Pinnacle Sim Racing race today in, what was it? It was in Silverstone. Check that out. That was actually a decent race. I mean, besides Flair leading every lap, I wouldn't say every lap. He led the majority of the Grand Prix. But yeah, we had a lot of battles behind. We did have 14 runners. Again, next week, my goal is going to be 17 runners next week. So that means I'm gonna have to get guys like Sean and Camden to actually show up next time, and they need to notify me if they can't. But Seafreeze is coming into the pits. Looks like TCR, a new driver, like we mentioned, back out on track. There's Cam, has provisional pull so far. We're looking at Motor City in the Sauber. So we will look at the points table in just a second. Seafreeze has a 15 points lead, I believe, over, was it B-Smooth? Yes, it is B-Smooth, a 15-point lead. However, B-Smooth has a win in Bahrain. Remember, he passed Seafreeze on the very last lap in Sector 2 to grab the victory. So Ishnay is exiting the pits, but also, and Seafreeze does have 2 runner-up places in a row, and winning the Malaysian Grand Prix was Flip Mofo, so he picked up 25 points. So it looks like second, third, and fourth in points are tied, all with 25. Ishnay is in third with points. He has a 3rd and a 5th place finish. So that is going to be it for the points. However, we're going to look at the constructor standings. Because Red Bull stands 1st and 3rd in points, most assumably they will have the constructors lead by 25 points over the Silver Arrow crew, the Mercedes Workmen. 3rd will be the Tuarazo team. So this Red Bull organization is going to be really strong in the 3rd season of TCR. 4th will be Sauber. with 23 points. 5th will be Williams with 17. And 6th will be Ferrari with 15. 7th will be Haas with the 11. Ferrari and Haas were the power teams back in Season 1 and 2. This season, not anymore. It's going to be the Red Bull guys, obviously, representing. Back in, I believe, 8th place is Renault with 8. And McLaren and Force India are both scoreless this season. So, obviously, there'll be teams trying to recover from a good comeback. But right now, you're on board with Ishnay, his Jeff Gordon-styled helmet. I just noticed that. Love the helmet, Ishnay. Shout out to you. That helmet is beautiful. But as he goes into the final sector, he goes down to the pit lane. So we have to find a driver who's actually going to cross the line. We have Talon 91. He is known to drive the Renault. His team stands, I believe, 8th in Constructors, only with 8 points. Most assumably, Talon is going to be the one with those 8 points. Yes, it is. I'm trying to find his teammate. I think Cam will be his teammate for today. Not exactly sure, but check back with Cam as NR goes for the fastest lap. So the prancing horse sets the fastest lap, so actually it's Cam in the Sauber. That car actually looks beautiful today in Russia. Makes it blend right in. Approach the first corner. But it seems to be Cam will be another driver to beat today, known to be I wouldn't say well fast, but really how I would describe Cam in driving. He's very aggressive, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind, he can be over-aggressive, and with this being his first TCR race, it is going to be hectic, to say the least. And yeah, I say that word a lot, to say the least of the phrase, but here's Flip Mofo. So Flip Mofo and the Toro Rosso won last week's Malaysian Grand Prix. Today, we are back in the Sochi Autodrome, or the Russian Grand Prix, and he can carry that motivation forward. Can't believe I'm saying this, but the number 69, Toro Rosso, is right now 9th in the standings with 2 minutes remaining. I want to read something from the TCR chat. Says, apparently someone chose the wrong car in the Force India. However, it looks like Ishnay's back out on the circuit for one final time. He's going to go for a blistering run to see if he can get one lap in. That is the question we have for Ishnay. Not sure if he'll get the time he wants or anything he needs. But as we're in Sector 1... Oh, EVR Matt. Oh, he tweeted at me. There you go. I just checked my Twitter. I just got a notification for it now. So Flip Mofo is on his final run. So is MRX. It looks like Kev has retired from the session. MRX, it looks to be, he'll be on a good lap. I mean, we were talking about MRX last week. He was barely running inside the points, but he had a fantastic qualifying round. The final corner crosses the line, does improve to 6th place. And what about Seafreeze, our points leader and Season 1 champion, our Season 2 champion, and I'm not exactly sure where he stands. I think he's on provisional pole position, that is. So as we approach the final 2 corners, Seafreeze will go through the final corner, just skimming in and across the line. No fastest lap with 40 seconds remaining. Here's Cam on board. We will have. And again, more points to bring up. Like I mentioned, I said I'd bring up the fastest lap from Season 1. The reason why I say Season 1 is because that is the fastest ever lap recorded in TCR history. So as we are in our 3rd season, let me pull it up, because Seafree sent me a bunch of cheat sheet papers that I'm supposed to look at. He told me I have to. I'm only going to look at a couple stuff, because I can't memorize all of that. But the fastest lap that Alex got was a 1:36.8, and now today, I think these times are going to be so much faster. Knowing the fact that, obviously, these are new cars, the cars are wider, these cars are going 3-4 seconds faster. As qualifying comes to a complete, Cam will be 2nd for now. We'll see what time he has at the end of this session. So Ishnay does get a lap in. Like we mentioned, he went in with, or exited the pits with 1:46 remaining. Now at 2:44 to finish out his lap. We'll see if he improves on his time. Here's Seafreeze down the straight. Check with Cam. I think he completed a lap, so he's not on pole. Talon comes through, final corner. That's it going to be for Talon. Motor City on pole. Which I think it's NR. It's just a glitch that says Motor City's on pole. Not exactly sure. So Ishnay's in 2nd. Down the straight he goes. We'll take a Red Bull on board view. So like we said, the fastest lap for pole was a 1:36.8. The fastest lap in the Grand Prix was a 1:38.4 by Mark. Again, this was back in season number 1. Season number 2, these drivers didn't really go as fast. I'd like to point out there, but Ishne, final sector, he's going to go for the left and right-hander. Cam says his lap was invalidated in turn number 1, so that lap did not count at all. So, final 2 corners for Ishne. We'll see if he can put that car on top. Final corner. Ishne will round the line, and he cannot do it. So, NR will be on the pole. Ishne will be 3rd. I mean, this has been a fantastic season for Ishne so far. He had a podium back in Bahrain. He finished 5th in Malaysia, but it will be NR on pole by 1/10 over Blaster Brennan, or as many in the league would like to call him, Blaster Brenna. In 3rd place will be Ishne. 4th will be Seafreeze, his teammate. So, Prancing Horses 1, 2, Red Bulls 3, 4, Flip Mofos in 5th, 6 is Talon, 6 is Talon, 7th is TCCO, Cam is 8th, 9th is CDMC, 10th is Motor City, 11th is MRX, 12th is Acraze, 13th Excalibur, 14th Kev, 15th Truth. And that'll be it as we barely end out qualifying, as we are just moments away from the start of the Russian Grand Prix. This is the 2nd running of this Russian Grand Prix. So my mistake, it wasn't Season 1, it was Season 2. I'm going to skip that so I don't get copyrighted, even though I don't monetize my videos, because I'm like that. So for the meantime, if you have any race picks, put them down below, and we will answer any questions if you have any. Again, questions down below. Also, I did put out on Twitter that my camera was corrupted. I was recording a vlog today, more like a day in the life of, and my camera corrupted. And I asked you guys to ask me some questions. I did get a couple questions, and in the vlog I answered them. And I did not get, and now since the footage was recorded, I'll probably go to those questions later on in the Grand Prix to answer them. But for the time being, we'll go to the 5 red lights. The 5 red... Oh, no, formation lap. I forgot. We have a formation lap in this league. 3 minutes of my time that I'll never get back in commentating. But yeah, I might as well answer these questions now. So, I'm going back... Hold on. Crap, there's an extra tweet that I need to delete. Okay, so the first question of this 3-question Q&A... Let me go to the questions, hold on. So, Matty D says, what are your thoughts on kissing? That's an inside joke. I'm not going to answer that. Waddles, or at WaddlesHD _, says, favorite AOR assist race you have commentated to date? I would most likely have to say Season 13 Italian Grand Prix. That was a phenomenal race. Lots of racing. If you are looking for a race, look that up on my channel. Actually, can I put the link in the chat? I can, but I'm too lazy to, so I'm just gonna sit back and commentate. But yeah, if you want to find that race, look up Italy Season 13. You should be able to find it. That was a fantastic race. Fantastic. And final question is, at _Soup says, favorite motorsport commentator? I usually get asked this frequently. I have a couple. I have Murray Walker, I have James Allen, I have Alan Bestwick, which is an IndyCar and NASCAR commentator. I have Bob Jenkins. Bob Jenkins, again, another NASCAR and IndyCar commentator. Because one of my favorite video games, he was commentating in it. And that was a 1998 game, believe it or not. So Bob Jenkins, another one. And then Mike Joy. I always have a thing for Mike Joy. He's phenomenal. I like Mike Joy. Which is a NASCAR commentator. And the other thing is, I think eventually I'll be able to meet him, because it's weird, because the 2 people that go to my school that I know, the last name of Joy, are, his, nieces, so I'm friends with people that are related to Mike Joy, since he's from Connecticut as well, but yeah, that answers those 3 questions, and that ends up the formation lap. That was actually, wow, I actually finished that up in time. So 3 questions in a formation lap have been answered, as we come to the end of the formation lap. If you missed last week's Grand Prix, Flip Mofo was your winner in the Toro Rosso, and he also got awarded Driver of the Day. Second was Seafreeze, as he maintains a points lead by 15, and Rebel extends it to 25. As we enter the 3rd round, the Russian Grand Prix, can these point leads get even further extended? We will see. Time runs down. The 5 red lights to fill in our screens. lights out, and away we go. NR gets off to a frantic start behind, and he is already pulling away with Ishne, already getting a better start. However, he's going to be wheel-to-wheel Blaster Brennan, and it's going to be the Ferraris and the Red Bulls up in front. You can see everyone chasing behind wheel-to-wheel, and it looks like the Ferraris will be getting away. NR with a good start, like we mentioned. It looks like Ishne ran a little wide, so did the McLaren Honda of TCCO, as he maintains a position. So right now it's Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 4. Red Bull back in 5th is going to be Flip Mofo. Defending from Talon as to the inside. There was contact into the wall, was one of the Red Bulls. Not exactly sure who that was. That is Ishne, the second driver for Red Bull. And now he's under pressure from TCCO, who ran wide in turn 1. So, as we are continuing lap 1, we'll take an onboard view with Cam, his first ever race of TCR. As TCCO ran wide. I think that this is his first race as well. We got some new people hitting the apex and headed down the straight. They'll be wheel-to-wheel down the straight for, I believe, P7 that is. So, down the straight, we could see some 3-wide action if the Renault decides to take action. Diving to the inside, Cam will be to the inside of the McLaren Honda, but he'll ring it around the outside. Does lose some time, however. He did run it wide. So now he'll be under pressure from the car to the inside, which would be the Renault. Flair says, this looks fun. Nice to see that he's tuned in. I see a battle back here for 10th place. This is Motor City against MRX. And yes, this is an American League. That's why it runs so late. But NR fastest lap for the first lap. There is 2 wide, as I think that was Kev who ran wide in the final corner. Luckily with the new game, you don't get 10 seconds of penalties if you run wide in the final corner. So we're going to take an onboard view with Kev. Looks like the Craze is back there for 13th, trying to make a move. It's going to go to the outside, so we'll have the advantage in, I would say, turn 1.5 right there. That kink that sticks out. So he'll be around the outside and takes a position. Flair says, how do you think the HRL legend Flair would do in this league? I think he would crush everyone. I really think he would. So back in 15th is Excalibur. I think he jump-started, so he served his drive-through penalty that he had to serve. NR is hanging on quite well. I mean, I think NR would give you a good challenge since he's usually in the top 40 in time trials. Seafreeze is around his pace, and Seafreeze got a lot faster. But oh, it's spinning behind. That's a Ferrari, a Blaster Brennan. Lost the back end entering Sector 3. And now he's going to be back with Ishne, who made the similar mistake on lap 1. So now we'll see wheel-to-wheel action for P5 against the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Down the straight, we'll take an onboard view with Ishne. Prevailing ahead of the prancing horse is Ishne. Down to the inside, locking up, and it looks like Brennan ran wide, so it looks like he may have some damage. Now we go back with CDMC trying to take advantage. He moves into the 8th position. So Ferrari not having the best of start, meaning Brennan fell back, and as the league would like to call him, Blaster Brenna. Every time he spins, I have to call him that. No, not really. I'm joking. I could if I wanted to, but Seafreeze goes for the fastest lap. We're going to go back up further to the grid. It's single file, but with Seafreeze getting the fastest lap and knowing how good Seafreeze is here today, it could be we may seen a battle for the lead. Obviously, it happened last round, and Flip Mofo was able to prevail out of nowhere due to tire strategy with it raining the dry and mixed conditions. So lap 3 out of 27. This race usually tends to go by very fast. So everyone just hang on to your seatbelt, get some popcorn, and go on your recliner and watch this race today, because it's going to be fantastic, as it looks to be NR is hanging on to what it appears to be a 1.5 second lead, not even anymore. As you can see, 3rd and 4th behind. That is Flip Mofo, again, last week's winner against Talon, a longtime veteran in the league, driving for Renault as usual. So, 3 laps in. If you guys have any questions, put them down below. And, obviously, seems to be Talon is maintaining the gap. I'm not sure if he's gaining on Flip Mofo at all. But Ishne is back in 5th, and his... I thought it looked like he was in the Red Bull, but TCCO, the new driver, along with Cam back in 7th, will be trying to catch Ishne for 5th place. So, nothing going on the racetrack. I'm quite surprised that we're not seeing any never mind, I just jinxed it. Around the outside, Truth gets closed door off by MRX. That was not grammar at all. It got closed off by MRX. You can see Motor City behind, getting pressured by the Craze. Seems to be a Mercedes power unit against I believe, the Renault, and then a Ferrari as NR for the fastest lap. So it seems to be he's pulling away from Seafreeze yet again, and behind is another Mercedes power unit of the actual factory team. So I'm looking behind. Blaster Brennan had to pit, so a little bit of a downer for him. Kev is back in a 15th. Not exactly sure what happened with him. Seafreeze is back in second place, so he is prone to be in second place throughout this whole entire season, finishing in both those places in race 1 and 2 to flip Mofo in B Smooth. I'm not sure if B Smooth is racing today. Is he? I'm not sure. B Smooth is not racing today, so that is going to affect him in the championship, as I believe Flip Mofo is. Yeah, Flip Mofo is. He's in third. So he will be the biggest threat to Seafreeze this season, and they're technically teammates because they're part of the Red Bull program, believe it or not. So really teammates from another team going at it, and I can't believe I'm saying it like that. But Seafreeze locking up as we head down the long back straight. If anyone was curious, again, we stated these facts earlier. The fastest ever recorded lap in TCR history was Alex back in Season 2 for a pole position. It was a 1:36.8, and fastest lap time was a 1:38.4. However, these guys are going 3-4 seconds faster than that time. They're just absolutely crushing the competition they had from last season. So as we're in Sector 3 for the final time, so lap 4 out of 27, about to be 5 out of 27. With these new tires, they are allowing the Ultra Softs here for the first time ever, even though they should have allowed them back in Season 2 or just on F1 2016. It's very, very easy to do a one-stop, so obviously we're looking at 2 stints for the most part. Unless if it were to rain, then everyone would just finish on the tire that they would be on, but it's obviously dry, so people are going to go for 2 stints because that is the norm here in Sochi. But if anyone was curious about the circuit that is new to racing, this track goes around the Sochi facility that they had the Winter Olympics here for 2014. Obviously, it's in Russia. Obviously, it's a Russian Grand Prix, but the title of this live stream, I think I had something pop up there as a notification. I just missed it. But what we were saying is this track goes all the way around the huge complex of this Olympic facility. It's very beautiful. That's why you have the left sweeping corner in turn 1. It goes all the way around the stadium. Yeah, easy one-stop. Definitely an easy one-stop, to say the least. Virtual safety car is out because Motor City has left this session. I'm not sure if he's retired. Oh, 2 retirements. That's Motor City and the Craze. They're out with terminal damage by lap number 5. We missed that one. I'm not even sure if I saw a notification pop up. That will bring out the VSC for the first time today. We saw VSC earlier in the British Grand Prix to start off Season 1, Race 1 of PSR. But I'm quite surprised that it was only a VSC. It is within these first 5 laps where everyone is pretty close to each other. Plus, it was a 2-car incident, retiring both of them. Not exactly sure where it was on the racetrack, but if it was right in the middle, I would expect a safety car. But then again, it's Codemasters. They have their own way of determining when a safety car comes out. Max Verstappen spins off this track. He's way off the racing line. Up, safety car. 10-car pileup at Baku, headed up the hill. Keep it green. I've seen that in career mode many times, actually. Flair says track is wide enough for no need for safety car. Well, I mean, it depends where, obviously they retired. So, obviously, again, I'm not sure where it happened. I wish I had some confirmation. Like, if it was off the racing surface, like you saw on the right side there, yeah, VSC, or maybe on the left side, VSC. What if it was right in the middle, maybe on the main straight, like right in the middle, then that'd be a safety car. That'd be my opinion there. But I think the safety car's been lifted and we're racing again. So NR has been pulling away ever since we've been blabbing about this safety car. Second is still going to be Seafreeze. Again, the top 3 have created a good gap, but Ishne is getting pressured by Cam, who is working his way up through the field. It looks like he passed the Renault of, was it CDMC? Yes, it was. So Cam's next victim is Ishne, and now, you remember these two battle a lot in HRL, and obviously it was Cam who was always faster than Ishne. I'm sorry, Ishne, that's true. However, for this new game, I'm not exactly sure, because this is Cam's first time driving on the dry conditions against Ishne, so we really get to see who is faster today. I mean, it is a circuit about straights and 90-degree corners, but still, it is nice to see a good battle put on between 2 veterans of other league races that they've been in together. So Cam will be back in 5th, and if they continue to battle, or if they try and battle each other, this will allow CDMC to get by for the 5th position. So he's going to look to the outside as Ishine takes the inside. James Gibson says, wasn't paying attention and crashed. This is Motor City. Okay, thank you very much for the confirmation. However, CDMC is going to be all over Cam. All over Cam down the straight as he tried to go to the outside of Ishine and lost a lot of time. So now it looks like CDMC will gain back that position as it looks like Ishine will be trying to maneuver down to the inside. Due to all of this, it looks like CDMC ran wide. TCCO gained back a lot of time, and it is going to be a 4-car train, and your conductor will be Ishine today. So back in, I believe, 5th place, yeah, again is Cam. So single file is going to be these 4 drivers. You can see a 5th place car behind. Imagine if Ishine was a leader, that is. However, I'm quite surprised he wasn't able to pull off the overtake. Maybe down the straight on the back straight this lap, he'll be able to put off a passing maneuver, as it looks like CDMC ran very wide and around the outside, and he did not try it. So TCCO trying to get accustomed to league racing in TCR, his first ever race. Same with Cam's, though down the straight, DRS will be available as Kev has left the session. So down the straight, DRS is available. He'll put it up to Rich Mix, most likely. He will gain back some time, but down the straight, Cam will still stay behind the Red Bull driver. So with, I don't know, we're 7 laps through out of 27 as we're coming to the line with 20 laps to go. Still a lot to happen in this Grand Prix. Hopefully a lot happens in this Grand Prix. We've only seen a couple passes go on today. But again, if you guys have any questions, pop them down below in the comments, as we will be up for answering them. But as Cam goes to the final corner, runs it a little bit wide, it looks like DRS will be available for the American again. DRS available, orange-green now, down the straight. Ishine in 4th. I did see a battle going on behind. I think that's just illusion as the craze has left the session. Yeah, not much happening anymore. We're looking back with Excalibur, who had a drive-through on lap number 1. Though he is getting brought back in by Blaster Brennan, who did qualify within the top 4 today. So it doesn't surprise me that this is happening. But down the straight, he is gaining some time, and Blaster Brennan can use this to his psychological advantage as DRS is available. Down the straight, I expect within these next 3 laps, I expect an overtake or overtake maneuver against Excalibur. He does have some experience in the league. He's been running in it for the past season. I think it was beginning of season 2 or the end of season 1. I think it was the beginning of season 2 when he joined the league. So he's been in the league for around a season now, and it's been pretty well for him. Being an average midfielder, I should say. But NR maintaining, it looks to be a 1.5 second lead. So in sector number 3, it looks like Seafreeze. If I were him, I'd be scratching my head, because you finished 2nd in Bahrain. You lost the lead on the very last lap by locking up and running wide to be smooth. Then the second race, which was last week's race in Malaysia, it appeared to be that he made a wrong strategy called, allowed Flip Mofo to win, and finished 2nd again. And today, he's running in the 2nd position. And remember, there's not much strategy that goes on, or that is involved, because these drivers, most of them are going to make 1 stops, because Excalibur, I count that as a stop. He had a drive-through early on, and plus, people like Blaster Brennan will make 2 stops because he had to fix his damage. But other than that, these drivers will be going for 1 stop, so not much strategy involved. So really, Seafreeze needs pure pace to get by NR, or else he'll go for his 3rd runner-up in a row, which will be a little ironic since he's leading the points. But we look back at Flip Mofo, still in 3rd. 4th is Ishine. Cam is all over again, and not much has happened since we were gone, so that is good. Seafreeze gave me a little cheat sheet, some stuff I should mention. So since nothing is going on, might as well bring up some topics. Though he didn't realize that he took the picture sideways, so I have to turn my device the other way. So look at it like this. As down the straight, Ishine going defensive. As you can see, it is a 4-car train yet again, maybe even 5 if you see the Williams back there. However, you can see the sparks beneath and under the Sauber of Cam, reeling in the Renault of CDMC, locking up all of them, coming towards the beginning of Sector 3. So, not the best exit for CDMC. Now, Cam is going to be all over Ishnay. Gain a lot of time. Take an onboard view with Cam. Ishnay goes defensive as he dives into the pits. This is lap 9 out of 27. What is Ishnay doing? He dives into the pits. Not sure what he's going to do or what tires he'll put on. Not sure if there's going to be any rain today either. But as he dives into the pits, it'll obviously be from Ultra Softs to Super Softs. Lap 10 out of 27 for Ishnay. I don't see anyone else pitting besides Ishnay, so that broke up a good battle. So Cam is now leading it, and the gap has extended between all of them. So yeah, we will go back to the cheat sheet. I'm looking at it. He says Toro Rosso has good potential as two of the driver of the days. Yes, forgot to mention, I believe it was Flip Mofo who has gotten 2 driver of the days in a row, believe it or not. Like we said, he won last week's Grand Prix, and I'm not sure where he finished last week, or 2 weeks ago. They do have 2 driver of the days, so they can use that advantage. I'm looking towards my next cheat sheet that I was given. Oh yeah, constructor standings. Like we said, if you go to the next page on mine, looks like to be Red Bull. Red Bull has a 25-point lead over Mercedes, who is back with 40. Third is going to be Toro Rosso. Fourth will be Sauber. Fifth will be Williams. And the thing I notice is that's pretty close between Mercedes and Toro Rosso. It's going like 40 and 36, so within 4 points of each other. Very close. So 23, 17, 15, 11, and then 2 teams without points are McLaren and Force India. So, obviously, if I were them, I'd be trying my best to try and, I don't know, get some points. But looks like Cam is into the pits as well. Follows the same steps as Ishnay. Let's see if he can get the overcut since he's been in clean air. That is a question we'll have. Looks like TCCO has Divin into the pits as well. Give myself a little bit of a breath. I don't have a cup of water beside me as I usually do. But my voice is starting to dry up, but it looks like super soft tires. Most likely, obviously, everyone will be going for super softs. If not, I don't know what's wrong. But as they exit the pits, there's Ishnay, and yeah, he lost a lot of time. So Cam has fallen way off the pace due to pitting just a couple laps later. However, he's not that far ahead. I mean, he was already in the pits when Ishnay passed, but then he came out and he's only around 2 seconds behind. You can't really see him in the left swooping hander, but right about in this next corner, you obviously can see him. 1, 2, yeah, around 2 seconds. So, as we come to the end of this first stint, it appears to be the front runners have not pitted at all. Here's Seafreeze, and there's NR. Appears to be they have not pitted. However, I may jinx that they may pit now, but no, NR stays out. I think there's radio communication. Yes, it is. Seafreeze is coming in. I was saying radio communications were going on, saying with Ishnay that the undercut is efficient. It works. And they told Seafreeze to box this lap if NR does not. That's what they're doing, and that is their plan. Seafreeze is hoping to get the undercut strategy, and we'll see what will happen. Now that he's in clean air, we'll see what will happen with Seafreeze. It appears to be the Toro Rosso pitted with them as well. It appears to be Flip Mofo, last week's winner. Going for the same exact tires, go on to the super soft tires. So Seafreeze exits the pits. And now this is the one lap where he needs to push the most to try and get ahead of NR. If he does, we could be possibly seeing a good show till the end of this Grand Prix. I'm sorry if I'm taking some breaths. Obviously, in my third race I'm commentating today. Never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. This is just brutal. But we're left with 12 runners in this Grand Prix, believe it or not. MRX is actually in second, and I can't believe that's coming from me. But NR is still in the lead, and we're going to question when he will pit. Again, I'm not exactly sure when he will. But again, we mentioned Seafreeze could be going for the undercut strategy, and that could be the way to go. No, he can't get him by pace. Obviously, you should just get him through the pit stops, since there's only one pit stop today. Most likely, that's the way he's going to have to go. So NR should be pitting this lap. He will, and this will be... Hopefully, the move of the race. NR dives into the pits. This could be the most crucial part of this Grand Prix. NR is going to exit the pit, or enter the pits, and he will put on the super soft tires. A good pit stop, around 2 seconds. We will see where Seafreeze comes out. Oh no, he's nowhere close. I think he has a good set room ahead of him. A bad exit from NR from the pits, and he'll still have the lead. But no, I can't say that just yet. Here comes Seafreeze down the straight. He's gotten a lot closer. They may be wheel to wheel, but NR just prevails, and he gained a lot of time through there. So Seafreeze did gain around a half a second. The undercut did not work, but he did gain time. I think that's the time that he needed. Now he's in DRS range. This is what Seafreeze needs to do. This could have paid off for him in the long run. And I definitely do agree, the undercut was the way to go for Seafreeze. Though if he pitted just a lap earlier, however, I don't think this undercut would have worked. So maybe NR could have stayed out. Maybe if NR stayed out another lap, then Seafreeze would have gotten him. But obviously, NR was sort of forced to pit if he wanted, or sort of forced to pit this lap if he wanted a chance to still have the lead. But yeah, that gap is already increasing between the two. And NR is having a huge advantage with Truth. Using his DRS, Truth runs wide, lets by, I believe, NR. And I would, if I was Truth, I would have just held him up, knowing that the Red Bull program, you're trying to help your teammate, but at the same time, try and go for the battle. And obviously, I think they both, I'm not sure if they, I don't think either of them pitted. I know NR did, but Truth has not pitted yet, as you can see. He's not diving in. I think he's sticking behind Seafreeze. MRX is still leading. Can't believe I'm saying that, but MRX is still leading today. So again, if there's any questions you have, put them down below in the comments. We will answer that, and if you are new or a returning subscriber, please comment, like, subscribe down below for race commentaries on this channel. This is the third one today. The first one I didn't like, the second one I had a lot of fun commentating, and the third one, well, I'm just losing my voice. It is a decent race, at least it's not RBL when it's a 3-car race to the finish at Singapore. But Seafreeze back in third. Question will be now, when will MRX pit? I'm not exactly sure. I would say within these next 2 laps. But MRX is hanging on to a lead he didn't think he'd have today. And most assumably, he's obviously going to extend it as much as possible, just in case if a safety car comes out. That would be the predicted race goal for him. Obviously, stay out. But it seems to be the Ferrari is gaining massive amounts on MRX for the lead. Obviously, he's gained a full second down that straight. But MRX is about to be under pressure, so might as well just pit. The safety car ain't coming out today, MRX. So if I were you, I'd just pit. Like the race director. Obviously not pitted yet. Neither's Truth, but he dives into the pits. Fastest lap for Flip Mofo. Fastest lap for NR. Did you just see that? I mean, that's weird because the Flip Mofo thing came up in purple. And they got rid of that in the new game. And then, I don't know. I'm so confused. You saw that, guys, right? You saw that. It was purple, and then the next fastest lap was gray. I'm not exactly sure. I think the purple is if you get all sectors fastest. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's just if you get all sectors fastest. I think that's the case that they have. But NR has taken back the lead. Seafreeze has tried the undercut strategy, but was not able to prevail. So he's back to a 2.1 second gap. Flip Mofo's in third. Fourth is Ishne. Fifth is going to be CDMC. Sixth is TCCO. Seventh is MRX. We have a good battle going on here between Talon and MRX. However, he just exited the pits. Remember that. So, as we're on lap number 15 now out of 27. Again, if there's any questions you have, put them down in the comments down below. But lap 15 out of 27. If, Sauber runs wide of Cam. I'm surprised Cam's in 9th place. thought he would be in 6th or 7th, not 9th. I mean, this is his first race at Russia in the Trinity League race. But usually, Cam is the one to be consistent that gets points. He is in the points-paying position. But again, I expected Cam in the top 6, not even in 7th. But really surprising. But we are 15 out of 27 through. Though if we spectate, if I get to the right camera angle, if we get to NR Seafreeze, they're on lap number 16 out of 27. So this is going to be 12 laps to go in this Russian Grand Prix. And again, comments down below, greatly appreciated. But again, I'm going to look back at the cheat sheet. I'm going to look at the driver standings, as we have yet to mention that today. So it appears the points to be, obviously, Seafreeze, again, I keep saying this, ironic to be, Seafreeze has a points lead, but has 2 runner-up places today, and this is the 3rd race of the season. So obviously, both races, he has finished in the 2nd position. 2nd place in points is a Mercedes as B Smooth. Not racing today at all. Retired in Malaysia. So he's going to stay at 25 points. Flip Mofo, however, is in 4th in points, 25 points, equal with Ishne and B Smooth. Ishne was running well. I'm not sure where he is right now. I think he's... Is he right? I don't see him behind. I'm not sure where Ishne is. I think he gained back a lot. Yeah, he's in 4th place now. He's getting hunted down by the Renault, that is. However, a position will be up for grabs between him and the Renault. Closing the lane is Ishne as we approach sector number 3. So, coming to, I believe, 11 laps to go already. 16 laps through. We're obviously through our halfway mark, most likely. So we are coming to the end of this lap. I do see the McLaren Honda gaining some time. That is actually TCCO, who is back in 6th place. A good job running on his first actual race that he has not crashed out in. I thought this was his first race. It's his 2nd race. He retired in the 1st race, which was Bahrain, which I was not able to commentate, if anyone was curious. So something I'm a little curious about is I'm looking at it. Again, I was a little curious. I'm looking because Seafreeze told me I think they changed the points format. Because something I'm confused about is Seafreeze has 2 runner-up place finishes. So you add up 18 plus 18 will obviously, most likely, get you... Wait for it. 18 plus 18 is going to be not 40, obviously, in the points. It says he has 40 points. I'm sort of confused by that. So I think the points format they adjusted, I think most likely it's going to be 20 points that they give you for 2nd place. I'm looking at the points. They gave 11th place a point. They made the top 12 points paying positions. I'm a little confused on that. And then I'm confused. I like the new points format. I was just unaware of it. But again, if anyone is curious, it's a new points format. So obviously the top 12 get points. I remember Seafreeze telling me about that, and I forgot. So it's still a win, 25 points, but TCCO, despite still being in 6th, I think he'll still get the same amount of points that he would. But we're on board with CDMC. He's reeling in Ishne. He got his fishing rod as he lost the back end of the final corner. Surprised he was able to do that because he's a very stable driver, obviously from someone like CDMC, veteran in this league, who's been running in it for a long time. He doesn't make many mistakes, and that is one rare occurrence that we will see him making a mistake. But he grabbed his fishing pole. He was reeling in the Ishne as he had a terrible exit. Missed part of the apex, and CDMC had an even worse exit. I saw his fuel monitor blinking yellow for a second there, so shows that he has been pushing. And again, Ishne with another terrible exit. This is going to be CDMC to the outside. They almost made contact. It's a double lockup in the corner. So as we approach the 2nd sector, we're about to go in the back straight. We have 10 laps to go. A battle's going up for 4th place as CDMC runs wide. And this allows the McLaren Honda of TCCO to try and make a move. Not sure why Cam is in 12th place. I think he had to pit. May have some damage. But we are looking further up the grid. I'm quite surprised that everyone else is not trying to battle each other, as it looks like TCCO runs very wide. Lost a lot of time, as now it looks like CDMC is looking to the inside of Ishnay. It's a lockup. It's going to give them the room. They bang wheels together. CDMC remains in 5th place. So, quite ironic that these drivers still hanging on to a position after making contact, knowing not the damage. I think it's either on full or simulation. I'm not aware of the details, but going down to the inside, trying to break the slipstream. Lap 19 out of 27, 9 laps to go. To the inside is CDMC with Ishnay. He may look to the outside to try and put on an overtake. Late braking, but Ishnay does him better. Runs it very wide, and CDMC will have another opportunity to overtake. And around the outside, and it looks like Ishnay will have the advantage. But we'll see if he'll try and dive it down to the inside. Ishnay goes to the inside. It'll be the switchback as his CDMC cuts the corner. This time he'll clearly have the inside. Looking, he gives just enough room, making contact. And again, they're going to be wheel to wheel. This time CDMC will have the advantage. And again, to the inside, he finally gets Ishnay. It took him 5 laps or so. And CDMC is up into 4th place, not for long. Because Ishnay is looking for some redemption as he's going to open DRS. As he's in the DRS activation zone. He's going to be all over the Renault yet again. So maybe that position wasn't for permanent position. However, Ishnay has his DRS needs. But he's stuck behind the Renault driver. However, I'm quite surprised they were able to keep that very cleanly besides the wheel bang. Like it was here a lap ago. But again, I'm quite surprised that now we have a 4-car pack. Leading this pack is CDMC. And 5th is Ishnay, 6th is TCCO, 7th is MRX. And he sees 3 cars ahead of him and he wants to get by all of them. Would not blame him at all. Truth is in 9th, 10th is Blaster. 11th is Excalibur, 12th is Cam. And in the lead is going to be NR, and he is pulled off to be what it seems. Looking at 3.2 seconds, not much. At least it's not what Flair did with 15 seconds to the bare minimum. But I'm quite surprised that we are, I think it's 8 laps through, and we've barely seen any spins today. Obviously the first lap and then the 2 retirements later on in the Grand Prix. Other than that, we didn't see anything else. And again, I keep saying this, I'm surprised because usually we expect a little more racing when it comes to Russia. A lot of straights, 90-degree corners. It's usually something we expect here. It's a bare minimum of what we want at this circuit. But Seafree's still in 2nd, 3rd is flipping over. The top 3 have not changed at all as CDMC is pulling away from Ishnay. He's finally found the groove and rhythm to flow at. So obviously Ishnay in 5th place. 6 will be TCCO. And this is his 2nd race he's competing in TCR. The first one, it appears he'll finish today. So as we're in the final sector, lost a lot of time to Ishnay, but back in 6th place TCCO. He has MRX behind him, which actually has gotten a couple consistent points finishes so far this season. Now, if I were MRX, I'd go in full attack mode. You have 2 cars ahead of you, you have DRS, you have fuel saved up, you have rich mix. You'll be given the opportunity, as these 2 ahead of him will be trying to battle, as it looks like the TCCO to the outside of Ishnay. Another position for the taking. He's going to try and go around the outside. Contact is made, and again, more contact. MRX just loves what he's seeing. A nice helicopter camera. He's going to try and squeeze in there, but it looks to be Ishnay is in 6th. And right now, single file, any mistake within these first 3 will cost him, as Ishnay will dive it down to the inside. Still in 6th position. A fantastic helicopter camera, as it looks like MRX switching lanes, as Ishnay went defensive in Sector 2. So beautiful racing they're putting on. It's making up for the race. Right now I'm going to rate this race a solid 6 out of 10. Not much, But DRS isn't able to get him right on board with Ishnay. See if he can try and catch down TCCO down the straight. He locked up and hit the wall. Made a little tap against the wall. He's back in 6th, and for constructor standings, it's a little crucial that Ishnay needs to perform. The second driver for Red Bull, he needs to perform, like we mentioned. Though losing the back end almost is Ishnay. His fuel mix finally went to yellow, back to gray. So he's almost on the edge of optimal fuel, showing he has been pushing quite a lot in this Grand Prix. However, next I feel like it'll be MRX and Ishnay who will be battling each other down the straight as they fly by the camera. Ishnay almost hit the camera as trying to go to the inside to break the slipstream. MRX will go to the outside. Late braking, very late braking. Can he do it around the outside? And he does! MRX, it's a fantastic pass. He does it for the 6th position, but no, not yet. Ishnay tries to go around the outside for 6. Can't do it. And Ishnay went from 4th to 7th in 3 laps. There must be something wrong with that Red Bull car, as the other one is up in 2nd place. Not exactly sure what happened there, but the only thing I notice is that Ishnay has felt very, very vulnerable against everyone else. Again, a lot of people are passing him. Not the day you want to have if you're trying to put up maneuvers or passes on other drivers, or if you want to work your way up through the field. And that's not working. That's not working at all for Ishnay. So in 11th place is Excalibur, like we mentioned. He suffered a drive-through penalty on lap number 1 for jumping the start. He's left the session, but he is trying to come back from that. Actually, no, he's still here. He just ghosted. 12th place is Cam. Had a problem early on. We have 12 runners left in this Grand Prix. But I'm surprised Cam is back in 12th. I'm not exactly sure what happened. We'll check the race director. See if there's any penalties getting spread on. Lap 4, Truth, 3 seconds. Lap 6, it looks to be Kev with 3 seconds. 3 seconds to Cam. Lap 10, Truth, 3 seconds. 3 seconds to Blaster, Brennan, and Cam. 3 seconds to Excalibur. 3 seconds to Ishnay. 3 seconds to Seafreeze. 3 seconds to NR. 3 seconds to Cam. 3 seconds to CDMC. 3 seconds to Excalibur. 3 seconds to Cam. Stop and go for Cam. 3 seconds to Truth. 3 seconds to TCCO. 3 seconds to CDMC. Wow, a lot of penalties. 3 seconds to Truth. Again, how has he not been disqualified yet? 3 seconds to Blaster. 3 seconds to Flipmofo. 3 seconds to CDMC. 3 seconds to Seafreeze. 3 seconds to Excalibur, and that is it. So, the only thing we know is that Seafreeze has 3 more seconds of penalties than the leader of NR. And how has Truth been so lucky in this Grand Prix? He's in 9th. He has, I believe, I do the math, he has 12 seconds of penalties, because 3 times 4 is 12. He has 4 3-second penalties. It's quite ironic that he's still in this thing, actually in the points. But the thing that surprises me the most is that, really, the rate that Ishnay is just falling back, it's embarrassing that Ishnay is falling back so much. It shows the Red Bulls aren't really on pace, but we do see a battle for 4th place. CDMC heating up with TCCO. As it looks like he'll go defensive down the straight. We'll take an onboard view with TCCO. He'll have DRS. DRS available with 4 laps to go here in Sochi. You look behind, that gap, MRX and TCCO isn't that much, but it can be if these two decide to battle each other, however. So, in the 4th position, with 4 laps to go. And, again, I would look at my cheat sheet, but we are going to the end of this Grand Prix to round out the 3 races I commentated today. I say I'd enjoy it. I mean, I'd rate my day my day would be a solid 6 out of 10. RBL was a negative 3 out of 10. We're not going to talk about that. PSR was a 7 out of 10 today. It's probably going to be a 6 out of 10. I expected more out of Russia, but we still saw some passes. However, down the straight, CDMC going defensive from TCCO with 3 laps to go. We're about to head to it. And the American of TCCO has gained a lot of time in sector number 2 and 3. So again, I'm quite surprised he gained a lot of time. However, this could be a last lap pass for the 4th position. Hitting every apex. I do believe some of these drivers have penalties like TCCO. But yeah, MRX is gone. He's falling off the pace, while CDMC and him are maintaining the gap. These top 3 have not been split up at all today. They've been very strong on keeping a wall from 3rd to 4th. Letting no one by, and the leader has done the same. Letting no one by him. Seafreeze, I believe. Nope, I'm incorrect. Seafreeze has not led any laps today. So, leading every single lap, I believe with the fastest lap. And the pole position is NR. He is going for a Grand Slam, which is all those combinations combined into one Grand Prix. I'm not sure the last time we saw a Grand Slam. It was probably either this year or last year with one of the Mercedes drivers. But we're coming across the line. We will be to it with 2 laps to go in Sochi. And again, comment down below who you think the driver of the race should be. We'll check the race director, actually. I would have to say, in all due respect, I would either have to say CDMC or MRX for driver of the day. That is my pick. Driver of the day, obviously, worked past a lot of people to get up to where they are today. I would most likely give it to CDMC because he is the one ahead. And plus, he's on the super soft tires compared to MRX and the Ultras. So, it kind of shows what the pace has been up for these 2 drivers. But 2 laps to go, MRX is about to cross to it. I meant NR, and he already did. 4th is CDMC, so he's actually maintaining that gap on board with TCCO with 2 to go. Thought I was going to say OJ like orange juice, but I said TCCO, so that's good. Not going to lie, TCCO and orange juice. One thing they have in common is that both of them are orange, or at least the car that he drives. So, with 2 laps to go, it seems to be that it'll be single file. I don't see a pass brewing up for position. Like, this is one of the few races I would have loved to have a co-commentator with me. 10th is Blaster Brennan, 11th is Excalibur, 12th is Cam, 13th, or no, oh yeah, I forgot. We had a couple of retirees today. I believe one of them was Motor City. After that, we had, if I'm correct, I think it was the Craze. The Craze at Motor City, and then one other driver left the session, as it looks like the prancing horse of NR. He'll cross the line with just 1 lap remaining in Sochi. 1 lap to go in the Russian Grand Prix. Second's going to be Seafreeze as he crosses the line. That gap is now, I think it's 6 seconds. I can't read it from here. I think it's 6 seconds. Safe to say it's 6 seconds. Let me zoom in on my live stream. That gap is 5 seconds. Nope, now 6 seconds after he crossed the line. Makes sense, makes sense. So Seafreeze, again, falling back. I definitely do feel like if he was able to get that undercut maybe a couple laps earlier, I think his idea would have worked at least for the first 5 laps. Then he would have had to hold off everyone else. But I'm quite surprised that NR has pulled off to such a dominant victory. However, I don't want to jinx him just yet. He does have 1 lap remaining. So NR, as he's on the back straight, about to be. What a well-deserved victory. He did get pulled today, and he has led every single lap with the fastest lap, that is. He has the best of everything, as he is entering sector number 3, the Ferrari. It looks like we are going to have our 3rd different winner this season in the 3rd different team. Not only that, if I think I get this correctly, I'm trying to figure it out, with the 3rd different engine manufacturer. First, it was, I believe, B Smooth with Mercedes. Second was Flipmofo with Renault. Now it's going to be, crossing the line is NR NR wins with Ferrari in the Ferrari power unit. Third different driver to win here in TCR season number 3. Shows how competitive the grid is. Second is Seafreeze. Third is going to be Flip Mofo. Crosses a line as he puts himself still in this championship hunt. Or at least I believe Toro Rosso has a Renault power unit. I think they do. CDMC crosses 4th, but not anymore. 6th because of those pesky time penalties that he has. 7th is CDMC. 8th across the line is going to be Talon. He's actually going to pick up 7th. CDMC had a bunch load of penalties. Never taken onboard view of truth because he had like 20 seconds. Never mind, he retired from the race. Blaster Brennan gets a final point given up for grabs. Cam is going to finish in 12th place. Running out of breath to finish today's race. It's been too much for me. I am never doing 3 races again, or 3 races to commentate in a day. That is just, whew. Props to the guys who commentate 2 full races in a day. That actually, that actually does take skill. So, obviously, as Cam is headed to the final corner to take P12, it is. And this will end out the Russian Grand Prix season number 3. The Russian Grand Prix. Let me check the cheat sheet to give you the guys the points, but right now it is going to be a podium. Top step podium for NR. We will present to you the podium season number 3 Russian Grand Prix. Now that this Grand Prix is over, my vote for driver of the day is going to be MRX. MRX, what a day he had. 4th place, due to all these time penalties, very clean. He started 11th place and finishes in 4th. He got, I think he just got by him by time penalties. Yeah, he got by him by time penalties. Because we said, who was going to finish in 4th place? We're looking at it, someone else is going to finish in 4th place. But yeah, really surprising to see. Hold on, who started in CDMC? What happened with CDMC though? Not sure what happened, but we will try and show off the points. So that was just a win for NR. For this Grand Prix, he had 15 points, 25 plus 15. You can do the math with me. 25 plus 15. That is going to be 40 points. Seafreeze already has 40 points. So add another 20 to that with another runner-up. Seafreeze will still have the points lead, 60 against 40. Now, Ishnay, I'm not sure where he finished, but with the points he got, most likely he's not going to, obviously, get ahead of NR. Most likely he's still behind. Flip Mofo, not sure how he did. I forgot who got what for points. Trying to go through, but most likely the points will stand as is. First, Seafreeze, 60 points. Second, NR with 40 points. That'll be it for today's Russian Grand Prix, and thank you everybody so much for tuning in. I am never doing that again. 3 races in a day, too much. If I'm doing 3 races, I'm going to commentate 2 and race in 1. Never doing that again. That was brutal. Brutal indeed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow, I think I have to commentate an evaluation race with PS Luton rules, so that's going to be fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Alan. I'll see you guys next time for another video or live stream on this channel. Peace.